Welcome to Get to the Point. I'm your host, Jessica Spahn, and I'm excited today to bring you a show highlighting the importance of recreation and community, brought to you by the Keller Pointe. Join us each episode and be inspired as we bring you conversations with community leaders who share their experiences, expertise, and explore the role that recreation plays in sustaining well-being and success. What are we waiting for? Let's get to the point. Welcome to Get to the Point. I'm your host, Jessica Spahn, and we have an extra special guest today for you. The city manager is here from Keller, Mark Hafner. Are you so excited to be here?
Of course.
I mean, I feel like you're excited to be here. So I had a question that I wanted to ask at the beginning of the show, and I feel like this is going to determine the direction of the entire episode. Are you a dog or a cat person?
Dog.
Dog person. Okay, good to know. We can maybe be friends. I don't know. We'll see. So do you use the dog park?
I've used the dog park before with Eve. Yeah, that's my golden doodle.
Eve is your golden doodle. Is that your favorite breed of dog?
So far, I've had many dogs. This one's absolutely the smartest dog I've ever had.
The oodles seem to be everywhere.
Like human.
Everything's an oodle mix.
Yeah.
I just get cats from like shelters. I don't know. I'm like, it's a cat. What kind? Adopted. Awesome. Well, okay. There's so many questions that I have. I'm hoping that the audience has kind of similar questions, because a city manager, I feel like, I don't know if people know quite exactly what all that entails. One of the questions that I have for you is city manager and mayor. Mm-hmm. Who gets the final say? Like who wins?
Depends on what issue you're talking
about.
So a mayor is elected by the citizens of Keller, along with the city council.
Okay.
They in turn then hire a city manager to run the daily operations of a city.
Okay.
And what that does, it keeps politics out of the everyday operations of the city. So at the end of the day, the mayor, I have 7 bosses, which is unique. Most people answer to 1. I answer to 7 people.
Sounds stressful.
I don't know about that. But anyhow, so it's who the citizens give me for a council, and they set the goals and priorities because they're elected officials, and they turn it over to me to run the everyday operations. So I don't look at it as who's higher, the mayor or the city manager. I look at it as we're a team. Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense, actually, the way it's broken down. Yeah. So I don't know. So I just didn't know if people really understood the difference. No, they don't. They usually think the mayor's the boss. That's fine.
Well, I'm in my research, it depended on the city, apparently.
Well, no, there are some strong mayor forms of government.
Yeah.
Around here, there really isn't. It's always, around here is more often to be a council manager, but the city of Houston, for example, that mayor wears the hat of the city manager as well.
Oh, wow. That's a large city too. Yeah. How many residents are in Keller right now?
So it's about 47,000.
Okay. That's perfect then. Because when I was researching, just kind of trying to learn some stuff, I think it said around 50,000 is when they...
That's what we probably will see our build out being. Whether we get there in the next 5 years or 10 years is open for debate.
Well, you mean, so if you guys put in the apartments or not?
It depends on the density of the housing that's left. We only have about 10% of the of open space left in Keller. So we're pretty much, what you see is what you're going to get.
I love that. And if you guys don't know anything about Keller, it's an amazing city. You can find out more information on the city of Keller's website, I guess, Facebook and all that stuff. But Keller Pointe, since, I do work for them, all the logos everywhere. So I have seen that you utilize it quite often, actually. Is it your favorite place on the whole planet?
Yeah, it literally saved my life.
Did it really?
Yes, it has. Backwards a little bit. Very stressful job when I was the police chief. I came to Keller as the police chief.
I was going to ask the question. Yes, search. Okay.
Very high stress job, even in a great community with low crime rate. But there's always demands put on you, and wasn't feeling well. Feeling stressed out. So went to the doctors, and he said, "You got high blood pressure." I said, "Really?" I said, "What am I going to do?" He says, "Well, you're going to start some blood pressure medicine." I said, "No, I'm not." And at the same time, we opened up the Keller Pointe. Okay. And I really wasn't into, I walked a little bit here, but I really wasn't into physical fitness. But the Pointe changed my whole life.
Okay.
It brought the blood pressure down. got involved in triathlons and groups doing triathlons and marathons and half marathons. And I always use the Pointe for swimming, running, and whatever. But sometimes I'm there 7 days a week. Sometimes I'm there 5, depending on my schedule. But I'm always there. So that, and then recently I've just had a little battle with cancer.
Okay.
And I had to do 6 rounds of chemotherapy. And the Pointe was there for me. It kept my mind on something other than what I was going through.
I love that. And I wanted to bring that up as well, too, with physical fitness. So, like, I know if people watch our show, we heard of the Fit City Challenge, which, Keller and Southlake kicked off in 22. And so part of that is the mental aspect of things. So I was just thinking about like mindset and how tied in it is with physical activity. So you think that was very helpful to have that to kind of like, did it take your mind off of stuff or help you like, because I know for me, like if I'm running or pushing myself, it helps me feel like I can tackle something that maybe I feel like I can't tackle. Just having done that, push myself a little harder. Yeah.
And being in good physical condition also helped me go through these 6 rounds of chemo. And the doctor said, what usually happens is that people who are not in physical shape can get all the 6 rounds and they have other complications.
Okay.
I was able to get all 6 rounds in, only missed 6 days of work.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all. and feel very healthy today and blessed.
That's amazing. Okay. So how does it work? Is it remission? Are you good to go?
Yeah. It's remission. Yeah.
Okay.
It's lymphoma. It could come on back, but I don't worry about that.
It's you got the Keller Point.
I got the Keller Point. Stay in shape. And, enjoy it.
I love it. That message is perfect, actually, because I lived that same lifestyle, basically, and I always have. I was a swimmer in high school, and then I've ever since been part of fitness facilities and extremely active. I have never done triathlons. I have no interest in putting myself through that. But okay, so I know that's really, really important to you are the runs, and Run with the Turkeys is coming up. I'm trying to think of when this will air. It's annual though, if this airs after. So every year on Thanksgiving, the Dallas Athletes Racing, and they put on a run that's in Keller Town Square. And it's really cool, guys, because I actually used to do my Thanksgivings with the 5K at the YMCA out in Dallas though. Like, so I drive like really far, and then parking would be really difficult, expensive. And then, oh my gosh, Keller has one right there. It's perfect.
Oh, it's perfect. And Run with the Turkeys is doing so well. We're hoping maybe to hit the 4,000 mark. Runners or 5 and 10K runners.
I love it.
And we started that up for 5 years ago. I'm thinking I'll lose track of time. But my friend Dan Jones from Dallas Athletes, I said, let's bring the turkey trot to Keller.
Yeah, because Fort Worth and Dallas, I mean, they're huge. It's the YMCA.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of it until I worked with Keller Pointe. But I would love to hopefully get more word out too, because it's hyper local. It's, it is in the most family friendly city in Texas.
Yes.
Okay. On that note, family friendly. So where did that come from? Like, did you guys just fall into that, or did you guys like have a vision for being the most family friendly?
No, that was an initiative by the mayor, the mayor and council, led by the mayor, wanting to make Keller the most family friendly. We actually went to Washington, D.C. and read into the congressional record that we're the most family-friendly
in Texas,
family city in Texas.
Interesting. Yeah. Is your goal? Are you ambitious enough to go for like the most family-friendly city in the whole U.S.?
Oh, I think if you had to talk to the mayor of the world.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's always fun. Okay, let me think about it. So, thank you for sharing about the cancer, though. I was actually debating if I should bring that up or not. No, I'm glad though, because I feel like like behind the scenes, I don't think people realize what a lot of like stuff that goes on privately, right? And so I think it's really encouraging to let people know that like you beat it, and that physical activity is super important.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I had ChatGPT do a little work for me this morning on myths versus realities of a city mayor's job. Well, we kind of already answered the first one, which was city managers have absolute power. That was a myth. But I mean,
I don't think I like that absolute power,
I feel like that's extreme.
I really feel like work for 46,000 people and 7 bosses. So I really.
So am I one of your bosses? No, I don't live in Keller.
No, but you're an employee at Keller.
That's true.
So
kind of. You're my boss.
So yeah,
you're my boss's boss.
Technically, bosses. Yeah, and the boss of boss.
Somewhere in the line.
But I feel I really believe in servant leadership. So
absolutely.
It's my point that I'm a servant leader to all 350 employees.
I love that, and so I love that. And also with the Keller Pointe, I don't know if everybody knows, but that is a benefit that employees receive when they work for the city of Keller. And we've had a lot of fun the last year.
Keeping me from retiring because I don't know what I'm doing when I retire.
Please don't retire.
I'm going to have to pay for it.
Please don't retire. I know, right? It's a free membership, guys. Come on. It's been fun though because the new hires come over to Keller Pointe, and I have the pleasure of welcoming them to the city and being super excited and a little obnoxious. I think, I don't know. It depends on the time of day they get there. And I give them day passes. I show them how cool it is. And so hopefully, as time goes on, we have more and more of the employees that are joining using the space.
I sure hope so.
That's the goal. But
it's a great facility.
It is.
It's the only facility that's that we call an enterprise fund.
Okay.
Where the and I don't think many people know this, but the taxpayers who don't use it don't pay for that. The operation's paid for by the past membership.
Right.
And that's a lot of cities are subsidizing it, not here in Keller.
Correct. So it's like a business. So it's like a cost recovery model.
Cost recovery.
But it does fall under like the parameters of like city management, though.
Of course.
So it kind of it's an interesting model.
It is a very interesting model.
I don't think I'll ever wrap my mind all the way around it. But I do like that too. It's funny with Armin and when he does the pie charts. When you guys do your pie chart, I'm always like, can't you write like just a line and put Keller Pointe 0? So like people don't look at Parks and Rec and think that that's the tax dollars that's going to it. Cause and you know me, I'm going to slip Keller Pointe in everything I can. Yeah. So I'm trying to always get it visibility. So anywhere I can put the Keller Pointe, I'm trying to put the Keller Pointe.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see about another myth versus, let's see. Ooh, fun one. Are city managers permanent appointments?
Yes.
So you could be. So how does that work?
But I tell everyone I work at the will of the city council.
Okay.
So any council meeting where they can get 4 votes, they can terminate my services.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you have the right council members on the team by voting.
No, I think you want to do an excellent job. So
wait, that makes more sense. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I meant to say. I've been working with the city too long. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Ooh, I don't know. I found 10. Let's see. This I don't believe is true. City managers work regular hours, 9 to 5. And I think you're probably never not working, right? In theory.
I'm on call 24/7.
Right.
I work Saturdays, Sundays, all the time. I'm working all the time. When there's an emergency, now I have a great police chief and fire chief that I have total confidence in. But the buck stops with me. I'm the CEO of the company, so I'm called 24/7. Yeah,
that's awesome. As far as other employees, though, you guys implemented a 4-day work week this last year for the town hall.
It's not only town hall, but public works as well. So our police and fire have always, and that's what I was the police chief for almost 15 years. Brought over a lot of things when I became city manager. Say what has worked well for us. We're award-winning police department, both nationally accredited, nationally state accredited. So that when I got the opportunity to lead the whole city, I said, let's do some different stuff here.
Absolutely.
And after COVID and work from home and all that good stuff, had to think about keeping people and retaining.
You wanted to hang out with your oodle more, is that it?
No, so. We did a study and we saw that only about 11 or 12 people actually go to town hall on a Friday. So I was able to, with the council is bought into it 100% and knew that, and we ran a test 6 months with it and our citizens were okay with it. So we've made it kind of permanently.
Yeah.
It's really never permanent.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we still meet residents that if Friday's their only day, we make ourselves available.
Well, and I kind of wanted to bring that up too, though, because I think as far as employment goes and cities to work for, that Keller is a popular city.
Yes.
To work for.
We work really hard. We work really hard at making it a very positive place to work, a place where people want to come to work, have great goals and do a good job and feel like they make a difference. And 43 years I've been in public sector now and doing this thing called public excellence.
Okay.
And it still excites me every day because we can make a difference every day.
Yeah, we can. And we do. Okay. So I knew nothing about city related jobs when I came on board with this Keller Pointe. talk to me about, so if there's some kids graduating college, let's say, like if the next generation that may not know what exactly city jobs there are or what is offered or that as an avenue for career or employment, could you speak to like what they could do to find out or what certain jobs could be that they might want to look into? Just kind of inform the next generation, because I'm 42, and I had no idea about half the stuff that even exists in the city as far as like jobs.
So we work very carefully with KCAL,
Okay.
with our Keller Independent School
Yeah.
District. And for the people that maybe don't want to go to college, there are still a lot of positions within the city that you don't need a college degree, or you may want to get one later because we do have tuition reimbursement.
Yeah.
So we're at KCAL all the time talking about the positions in public works and police and fire, general government, parks.
Yeah.
Parks is people like to work for parks. It's a fun place.
It's because they had a show. I mean,
yeah, so yes, we're out there recruiting all the time at KCAL. We also have connections with the public administration group over the University of North Texas for the people who are in college. So we allow we fund internships.
Okay.
So there's a lot of ways where we do it, and just a lot about word of mouth too, and from our department directors who are out there looking for the very best people to be part of this team.
So then, okay, so if someone's watching this and they're considering working now they're like, oh, what city jobs do exist? They would just go to the City of Keller's site.
And we have a great website through our HR department.
Okay.
With it tells what openings we have, the requirements, the general requirements, what does the job entail, and you can do it online too. The application's online. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just thought it was cool because having no knowledge of half of these positions when I came on board with you guys, I thought it was really neat. And I like more people to know about them because it's pretty cool. I'm excited to see how Keller's going to evolve. And 20 years is 20-year anniversary for Keller Pointe is 24. So
very aware of that. I was probably one of the first ones in the building.
I feel I may-ish. I have the date set-ish. We'll see. But I'm thinking, and also Park Run is 19 years right now. They'll be at 20 also the same year. So weird. So we'll probably kick something off at Park Run and then do a whole like dog adoption, dog contest thing at the dog park, which may or may not be updated by then. And then we have the Keller Pointe Park, which may or may not, because those are both.
It won't be done, but we'll be on our way.
Well, yeah. So we'll have those, and then we're gonna have our pool. We're gonna open the pool for people to come out and have fun and experience what they might be missing out on. A
lot of people missing out.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say whenever we did the ribbon cutting for the pool, and we had Maximus out, and he's been doing great as far as breaking records and whatnot, the swimmer. There were multiple people who were saying that they forgot how fun it was here, and I'm like, remember, come back. It's a great place to live life and have community together. Absolutely. 20 years, wow. Okay, so and I know you have a history. I wanted to bring up the police. So how did you come to be in Keller? You were what, captain?
So when I left, I was a lieutenant in charge. I was second in command of the department.
Okay.
But the story goes back, and it's a funny one, that I started actually when I was 18.
Okay.
Police officer.
Really?
Way back then when they gave us the right to drink and to serve in the Army and all that good stuff. The minimum age for a police officer was 18.
Wow.
And I just graduated high school, and it was in my first semester of college. And I said, I'm going to take the entrance exam for a police officer. My parents were too thrilled about that, saying, well, whatever, but you're young. They're going to hire 18-year-old. Well, I went through the process and I was hired.
Oh, nice.
But the funny thing was that I couldn't even buy my own bullets for my gun because that required 21. So my mother had to buy my bullets.
Oh, my goodness. That's hilarious.
I always tell that story to new recruits or new employees that so I started at 18, and I did a great 20-year career in a place called Wethersfield, Connecticut.
Okay.
In the Northeast. It was a great place. I rose up to the ranks from patrolman all the way to the second in command. But I was getting tired of the winters. So I started looking for jobs, and I looked in Arizona, Florida, and Texas.
Okay.
So what do they all have in common?
Not
heat. Yeah.
Snow.
No snow.
Not usually.
So my wife says, they're not going to take you from Connecticut down to Texas. And I said, well, I'm going to throw in my application. And I threw my application in. I was one of like 150. And then it kept on, every month I'd get another update. Well, now you're one of 50. Now you're one of 25. And then it was, come and visit us.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you knew Tom at that point.
I didn't know Tom.
Or you didn't know him yet.
I didn't know him then.
Okay.
So I interviewed for the job of the city manager, who's still a friend today to me, and a great mentor to me. Lyle Drescher was the city manager of Keller.
Okay.
We had the interview, and then I went back to my hotel room, and he says, "When are you going home?" I said, "Sunday." He says, "Okay." And I figured they're going to either make their decision, me or not me.
Yeah.
And I get a phone call Saturday night in my hotel room up in the salon in Westlake. And it was Mr. Drescher says, we're going to be by your, I'm bringing the HR director. We're coming by your room tomorrow morning. I said, what time's your flight? And I told him, he says, we'll be over at 6:30 a.m. He said, don't put your suit on or anything, but I want to talk to you.
Okay.
And he came and with the HR director that's
intimidating.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
At 6:30 a.m.
So you get up early and tidy.
He said, I didn't want you to leave because I wanted to give you the job.
Oh, that's exciting.
So we went through the particulars of the job and the starting salary. And then he says, but I'm not giving you the job.
Okay.
I said to myself, this guy, is this how they do it in Texas?
This is weird.
He says, no, I'm going to do it the weekend after when I bring your family here.
Oh, cool.
And they feel that this is the place they want to call home.
Yeah.
And still to this day, when I tell about that, I just did the goosebumps because the thought and the feeling that he gave and cared about bringing me from Connecticut to Texas.
It was more than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because family is very important.
It was cool. And never did I ever regret my decision. It's been a great run here. Never did I ever think I was going to be the city manager.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you if that was like a dream since you were a child or if you just fell into it.
No, matter of fact, when I did interim for as long as it takes to make a child, 9 months. And I finally, the Mayor Matthews back then said, do you want this job or not? I said, well, I love being a police officer, and to give that up was a big deal.
Yeah, I imagine. It's a lot.
All those years
your whole life
of wearing a uniform and everything else. But I said, no, I knew it was time for me to move on to something
different
because I think all leaders have a shelf life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can stay too long.
Oh, for sure.
So I said, you know what? I'm for the department I'm going to do is because then I can name a new chief there, and it then becomes a new captain and a new lieutenant, a new patrol officer. It all it has
the domino effect.
The domino effect.
I guess. Do you have any other thoughts that you want to share with the world to leave something amazing with it besides everything else you've done?
No, it's not about. It's never been about me. It's about others, and I really just want to thank the Keller Pointe. They do such a great job every time I go in there. Whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm one of the first ones in. They're smiling. They're ready for us. Sometimes I've been before the doors even been unlocked. I hate to say, but yes.
I could totally see that.
It's been it's been a really great addition to our city. So thank you for that, and thank you for the role you play.
Yeah.
And thank our residents.
Absolutely.
Some really forward-thinking residents.
Absolutely.
That have put together the ones that actually voted for the half-cent sales taxes made all the difference in our parks.
Yeah.
In our trails. We survey our customers every year, and it's always public safety, parks, trails.
Well, and you're a Tree City, you're Tree City America, or there's a whole thing that you guys can find out online too. And we do love the parks. What I enjoy about them is since Keller Pointe's kind of positioned right near them, it's like you can have it all. Like you can have your nature, or you can, and then you can go in to the gym, work out there. You have showers. It's perfect. I love it.
We also, I every night when my head hits the pillow, I'm thankful for the 350 great employees that we have. They do everything and more, and we couldn't get all this done without them. It's fun. It's fun to be their leader.
I love it. You're our leader. Okay, so we close out the show a specific way. What are you waiting for? Get to the point.